So we were talking about melter weapons.
Yes,
Basically, they melt shit.
they do. I know that one.
Yeah, the fire dragons essentially, they like red, they like yellow, they like orange, and they like burning shit. So
Because they're
they have
pyros.
flamers as well. It's similar to a heavy flamer, and then they have like melter bombs and melter weapons.
So, were those things out before, or are people mad? I know we've kind of gone past this, but like,
Yeah.
is that something that comes up? The fact that other factions and groups have like melt weapons, which are the equivalent to fire dragon, or no? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I explained that very well.
The thing is like the fire dragons themselves are an entire unit with melter weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the Imperial Guard, sure they have melter weapons, but they don't have like an entire unit of melter weapons. They'll have one dude with a melter gun.
Right.
And now it's kind of like all specialized everywhere all over. So the like small specialist units of Eldar now kind of don't mean anything because you've got larger specialist units of bullshit Space Marines or whoever. It just kind of like it takes away a bit of their uniqueness and the interesting aspect of the Eldar. Like being an aspect warrior really doesn't mean much, kind of.
That's so sad. They put so much work into it. They went to university for this. Probably. Sorry, we've got a little bit of a focus issue on the camera.
One fun part. One fun. They're essentially the fire dragons are useful for destroying like dreadnoughts and space marines and
Yeah, the big guns.
Vehicles and heavy armor and all that type of thing. But there's a rogue trader who had a meeting with basically an autarch. We'll get into autarchs in a bit. And like dropped in, jumped into his Aquila lander, just a transport shuttle, and landed in the meeting area, and then kind of, it's essentially it got destroyed by fire dragons. And so he was like, and now we negotiate. I don't have a ship and I can't run away. Shit. So pretty much the Eldar, the Autarch and the Eldar in general were able to rake him over the coals in the negotiation deal.
Yeah, because he wanted to live.
He wanted to live and also get off the planet. So this
and
is why Eldar are assholes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a valid tactic.
I mean, the only other thing he could do is stay and wait there and hope that Steve turns up.
No,
which,
we don't want Steve to turn up. He ruins things.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I like Steve. He ruined everything, but
he's a ruiner.
He is a ruiner, but he's also kind of a cool dude.
No, he isn't.
No, he isn't.
He's like the pretty fly for a white guy. I don't know why I have this whole persona for Steve.
Wait, is his favorite band? I was gonna say Outcast, but that's the wrong band.
Offspring?
Offspring.
Nothing wrong with Offspring.
Sit away, no way.
Can we not? No singing.
Why don't you get a pizza? That song's dedicated to Steve. Little known fact.
He also doesn't have a job.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job. His job was going out to get pizza. He failed that, so they didn't hire him back.
Did it wrong. And by the time he gets back, everyone's proper Necrons now, not Necron tier.
Yeah. Poor dude.
Took way too long.
So, next up,
Yeah.
is the Shadow Specters, who
Yeah, I already described them.
you described them during the break, yes, but
It was not well.
essentially they're actually really interesting because they have jetpacks,
Mm-hmm.
which in general in 40k is like, oh, you have a jetpack, so you have a chainsword probably, or some kind of like chain weapon, and a pistol probably, and you basically jump as quickly and dangerously as possible into melee combat and either die or destroy. That's what the Space Marines do. That's what the Orcs do. Uh, the Shadow Specters have very, very long range anti-tank weapons.
Anti-tank weapon, very long range anti-tank weapons and jetpacks.
Yeah, they're kind of more floaty jetpacks.
Oh.
From what I can tell.
Okay.
Essentially, like you know, like it's I'll send you an image of them because honestly, like it
No, I can
explains
envision it. I've played games where you have like a jetpack or you can just float around for a bit and then shoot people from there. So it's like having a instead of having to climb and find a sniper's nest, you can just fly.
Yeah.
Got it. And then people in melee can't get you. And they don't know where you are.
They really do just look like specters with like floaty blue things behind them. But so yeah, they pretty much float around, chase down tanks, and shoot them with their weapons are not really asshole weapons, but they're kind of, you know, I think the Shadow Specters didn't actually exist when I was playing the tabletop game. So I didn't know that much about them, but they use a Prism Rifle, which is is that the gravity? I need to. Yeah, it's something around gravity. I know that. I need to look this up because I'm not 100% sure how this works. It essentially like you have a laser, and then inside the laser is a prism, like a crystal prism that's like, yeah, I think it's a little bit like wraith bone, where they kind of like grow it so that it will amplify and kind of focus the beam.
Hang on.
And like, oh wait, did something go wrong?
No, it's just in the mouth guard.
Oh, you're
Prism Rifle. I am painting.
Yes.
Prism Rifle, and does it do anything like what beam? Just basic. Like
so I think depending on how the grown prism is the crystal is kind of like grown, it can either make it like a concentrated blast or like a kind of like weaker blast, essentially.
Right.
Kind of, I would say the difference between like a sniper bullet and a tank cannon.
Oh.
So yeah, it essentially they have those, and they fly around and shoot tanks. They like chase tanks down and shoot them by floating around like weird dicks.
I just don't think that anything is going to touch the spiders at this point.
The Howling Banshees are pretty cool. I'm intentionally leaving them till last.
Okay. Are they the ones with the main possibility?
No, there's my favorites as well, which we haven't got to yet.
And also, honestly, the Howling Banshees are not my favorite because they're a pain in the ass and I hate them.
Yeah, okay. Well, I feel like that's mostly because you're painting them currently, but okay.
Well, you know what? You don't know that.
I feel like I do, but
You don't know for
it's
sure.
I don't know for sure that's true.
But
I'm
that is the
merely
reason.
making
Yeah, I
an
hate them
yeah.
a lot. Like a lot.
Uh, so next up is the Swooping Hawks.
The Birdman.
Chicken Man, also
Me.
known as Baharoth
Bahar. Oh, chicken man.
or Chicken Man. So, the Swooping Hawks are essentially assault troops. I guess. They're a little bit like the warp spiders in that they like to take off and fly around, and in the tabletop this is, and basically drop down randomly and be like pew 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 pew. They're really fast, they're really agile. Um, they're not super armored, but they have wings, so they can fly.
They can't. That is cool. I would play that.
I think the Swooping Hawks are actually pretty fun, honestly.
But like, what else do they do? Because we went into like a decent amount of detail with the spooters, which is why I like them a lot. I think.
Yeah, and like the thing is like a lot of these are very specifically like, hey, we don't like tanks,
Yeah.
or hey, we fire like melter weapons. There's only so much you can kind of go into with that. They have essentially like it's a las blaster. It's like a las gun, which the Imperium uses, except for actually good. They also have a tendency to carpet bomb with grenades.
Just throw a bunch of grenades and leave it to it. I am getting far too into this detailing on the face, and I'm just getting aggravated. So I'm gonna move on.
Wait, you're getting too into it, so you're getting aggravated?
No, I'm getting like so hyper focused on the
Oh, okay.
on the face and like the
You can
mouth
always
guard
come
and
back to
stuff.
it.
I just can't work on that anymore because I keep doing it wrong, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know if this isn't. I need to clean my brushes. I need a tiny brush, but I need these colors. Is anything in green need cleaning up? Not really. Okay, use this green one. Okay.
I think my favorite aspect of the Swooping Hawks is that they use a las blaster, because of course there's the las gun, which is used by the Imperium, which has in the TTRPG stuff basically no penetration. It can't penetrate armor at all, and you just like whatever damage you roll, which can be tiny, would be just that's the damage you do, and usually it doesn't even go through armor. Whereas like the las blaster is described as essentially, hey, this is like the Imperial las gun, except for good.
Except for good. Oh man, I'd be so. I don't know. I keep thinking about would I play this in the TTRPG? And I think the Eldar are cool, but I think they'd just be a little bit of a nightmare, wouldn't they? Like deciding which one to play and like being hyper dramatic.
They can be very.
No yawning. Are you?
Apologies. This happened last time as well.
I know, and I think I told you off last time too.
You did. They can be very arrogant, and it can be a little bit limiting. Obviously, you experienced a Dark Eldar because Peachy played one.
The Mimi one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's essentially what the Swooping Hawks do is they fly around, they shoot people. Have you seen oh god, what's it called? It's like it's a really old film, but it's like people flying. It's Brian Blessed is one of the, and it's like Hawkmen. he's like, fly, and they have this aerial battle where they just fly towards each other and shoot.
I can't say that I have.
Flash
and
Gordon. Flash
I can't
Gordon.
say no. I haven't seen that there.
Yeah. It's pretty old. As is everything I reference because I'm grandpa apparently.
Yep.
So yeah, they basically they like the name suggests, they basically swoop over the enemy and fire their las blasters and drop grenades on them. That's pretty much what they do.
I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, it can be super annoying, to be fair.
To be against, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's still not as bad as the fucking warping spiders who are just like, hey, what's up? Do you want to get torn to shreds by fucking filament?
Surprise! You get to be torn to
Surprise.
shreds by filament.
You're gonna.
Oh, what a terrible birthday present.
Yeah. But no, the swooping hawks are cool. They have their wings with the jump packs and they've got some. I think the wings have like anti-grav and jet propulsion and stuff. So
For some reason, my brain said he's gonna say anti-disestablishmentarianism.
they don't have. I'm afraid they don't have
Right.
anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Sadly, it was all I was hoping for, really.
Yeah. I can only apologize for letting you down. Then we have an interesting one, which I also haven't really had much experience with because I don't believe they were around at the time. And you can always tell the influence. The Shining Spears, who are essentially Blitzkrieg Eldar. They like to move really fast, hit someone, and then piss off, essentially.
Okay.
There's not that many of them. They're kind of small, but they ride jet bikes.
Why do they ride jet bikes?
Well, to be super fast.
Well, yeah, but it's they make up the rules. Why can't they just be super fast?
It's a great question.
Like the others can teleport, that would be great.
Well, I feel like you can only teleport. Like, I think there's a recharge maybe on it. I hope. Essentially, I think the answer to your question is because they want someone riding jet bikes, which is cool.
I mean,
which basically boils down to why do they have people who can teleport behind you and fire fucking mono.
You all right there? No, you're not all right there.
Molecular? No. Oh god. What's the word for molecule?
Ah, molecule.
So like molecular? No.
Wow, this is orange.
Anyway, yeah, essentially tiny nets that rip people apart on the molecular level.
Okay. Well,
Monomolefilament
Small.
nets that rip you apart. Like, why would you have that? And I think the answer is because it's fucking awesome, and why not?
Yeah.
And also, don't ask questions. This is 40k. Just get in.
Get in there. Yeah. Get in the motorbike. Loser, we're going murdering.
Not only do they ride jet bikes.
Camera angle was sketchy there.
Oh, okay. No, I saw that, yeah. Not only do they ride jet bikes, which are basically like, Star Wars. Star Wars has the
pod racers.
Yeah, I was thinking more the jet bikes they have.
I don't know those. I don't know much Star Wars.
Oh.
I'm like KOTOR, yes.
Land speeders, yeah. That's the ones. They kind of have a chase in Return of the Jedi. But anyway, it's a little bit like that. But they also have, of course, the laser lance,
Lasers.
which is basically a lance that fires a super short range laser, which very often you'll say to yourself, hey, why didn't you just use a fucking lance? But it's essentially like you shove it in people's faces and then hit the trigger, and then this like tiny laser basically burns them apart. They're essentially supposed to be like cavalry, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense. They run in and
Yeah.
yeah.
They're really cool. It's I wanna put a picture in, but they're just gonna complain.
Just do it. Stop being such a wuss.
Well, last time I tried with the fucking Shadow Specters, you were like, blah, 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 blah.
You do make my life difficult, to be honest.
I know, but
this is me holding a paintbrush in my mouth because I need to check the picture.
So yeah, that's a shining spear. Basically, like when you see it, you look at it and you say, "Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, why don't they just stab the dude instead of shoot them with a tiny, like, short range laser?"
Well,
it's like
once you've stabbed someone with it and then it doesn't come out, you have to drop it and go on to the next weapon, because that's not a very effective. Like if that's going to stab someone, they're not sticking in the someone. With the jousting poles, it's like you knock the other person off. So, but like if you're gonna stab him, you need a second weapon. She says, as someone who's watched jousting shows.
Yeah. A Knight's Tale is amazing. Love it.
Well, I've seen like, it's just a show in person of jousting. Like an exhibition, I guess, or whatever. And yeah, if you stabbed someone with it, you'd have to drop it. So they didn't stab people because that was not the goal.
Yeah. So we have two more sets of aspect warriors. We have the Howling Banshees and my favorites.
Okay.
Which one would you like to do first?
The Howling Banshees.
Okay, we'll leave my favorites till last.
Yeah, that's why.
So the Howling Banshees are essentially, I was gonna say Spartans, but that's not quite right. They're essentially like berserkers. Super fast, all female.
Pain in the ass.
I mean, right? And they're not really strong, but like they're not like brute strength. They're like agile, runny, jumpy, everything, just basically wanting to shoot people with pistols and slice them with swords. And also they have the Triskells. Triskelles?
Yep. Yeah. They do. Because they're cool.
So they actually have some really cool parts of them. The Exarchs are cool. I know. The Phoenix Lord is kind of crazy. That's fine. Jane's are. Jane, Jain, not Jane. It's not another. It's not a Karen.
They're all Karens.
They're quite similar to Harlequins, which is not a bad thing because Harlequins are pretty badass. They tend to go along with Shuriken Pistols.
Yeah, which is all of these came along with one, and obviously the Exarch is using one with its Triskel.
Yeah.
So I know a little that they exist.
And usually they use like a power sword. The Exarchs sometimes use a power glaive, which is just basically like a two-handed polearm of ridiculous
Yeah.
death.
I have obviously when I painted when I was building, it gives you different weapon choices.
Yeah.
So I had like the big old stabby not spear, or two power swords. Oh, that's not good. Two power swords or the Triskele, and I thought that this is cool, so I wanted to use this.
The two power swords are they're actually like a pair of swords called mirror swords.
Oh, mirror
They're
swords. Yes, that was
power
it.
weapons. And then
Sorry.
yeah, the Triskele is also a power weapon, but is essentially like you throw it and it like slices through pretty much anything. And then yeah.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and because it was not in. Oh, sorry, I'm being attacked. Because it was not in the sort of standard builds, I thought it'd be interesting to do it. There's a little fly attacking the light here.
Yeah, I also have a fly attacking my screens. It's really annoying. Especially when it occasionally lands on my shoulder and it tickles and I'm like, fuck off. And then it runs away.
Well, this one everyone can see, and I apologize.
So the really cool the thing I love about the Howling Banshees that almost make them my favorite is their helmets, which you may have noticed because I think you've painted it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Banshee's Mask
Yeah.
because not only do they have that ridiculous like lion mane of hair, they also have psychosonic amplifiers, which while they charge into battle, they scream and it amplifies that into mind-destroying shockwaves.
Oh.
Basically, they severely damage the nervous system of whoever they're attacking, either making them paralyzed or making them flee for their life, or like in terror. Not even for their life, just like, oh my god, scared, run.
Yeah, that could be the little sections on the sides, then I suppose.
That's what that is. So essentially, these are like super agile, hard to hit, crazy women who charge into your face and scream so that you're paralyzed before they slice you apart or shoot you in the face.
Perfect. Love him.
They're pretty cool, right?
They're just aggravating to me because
Yes, because you're painting them.
I'm
I know.
painting them.
I look, I'm not going to judge. And the Howling Banshees, I don't think there's too much else to talk about. There's aspects of them. I think the Howling, like, this is the thing, is we can go into like the talking about the aspect warriors. Sorry, the Phoenix Lords.
Yeah.
And some like aspects and stories of the things that they've done. Like, for example, there was I think it was either a rogue trader or it was the Inquisition, were like fucking around on a planet, which turned, and they found some artifacts, turned out to be a main world of the Eldar.
Oh no.
And essentially, two Craftworlds who were kind of nearby fucked them up.
Yeah. No, that would happen.
And the Phoenix Lord Janezar and 100 Howling Banshees charged and slaughtered the Imperials who were doing that type of stuff.
Stop looking at our planet. It's illegal.
I mean, to be fair, they started to nick some of the they started to nick some of the artifacts and the Eldar like technology and stuff. So it makes me want to say it was probably a rogue trader.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of shit rogue traders do. But
I have 3 tubs of water on the go because they've all got different colours of paint in them. Now I'm about to start my 4th.
Do you want to know one thing interesting about the Howling Banshees and the Eldar?
They eat people.
Well, no. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know them
No, they do
personally.
not do that. Yes, tell me.
The only kind of like completely, as far as I'm aware at least, feel free to correct me. This is just my memory. This is actually not even my research. This is my memory from when I, you know, used to collect and play the tabletop. I think the Howling Banshees are the only aspect of the Eldar that's actually gender restricted.
Yeah, because they're all women, aren't they, in the Howling Banshees?
Yeah, I think males can. I think there's like a few, but in like invariably, pretty much completely, the Howling Banshees are female only, and they're almost my favorites. Just because the Howling Banshees are so fucking scary.
I want to. No.
I love them.
I think they're fun.
The warp spiders are quite hard to beat.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I like that they're super annoying and aggravating.
Yeah.
And the metal thing, so metal.
Mm.
So...
Well, we haven't got to my favorite yet.
Okay, who's your favorite?
So I'm trying to find. Okay, yeah, I'll send that because I'm going to reference this picture. This is an Exarch of my favorite.
Yep.
So that's an Exarch of the Striking Scorpions.
Wow, I can tell what they've been inspired by.
Yeah, it looks like a predator, right?
Yep. But
no,
very green.
The Striking Scorpions are really cool. So I'll probably talk about them a little bit. Like, I apologize to anyone who's like a fan of the Fire Dragons or whatever, but I love the Striking Scorpions. I think they're really, really cool. So I may talk about them a little bit more. It's the same way how I absolutely hate the fucking warp spiders. So I talk about them a bit more too.
Yeah, you knew everything right off the bat. Sorry, I've just been cleaning a paintbrush there so I can do some Retributor armor paint.
Cool. So they are they're described as melee stealth specialists. I'm not sure how stealthy they are, to be fair.
Isn't that a chainsword in the picture? Like,
that is a chainsword, yeah.
Super stealthy, bro.
They tend to be stealthy like just before they jump out and kind of rev up their chainsaws and rip people apart.
I don't think I was supposed to put metal, like the shiny paints in this palette, but I've done it now, so...
Oh, see how it turns out.
In my wet palette, it's I think it goes through, but never mind. That's done. Done what I've done.
The Phoenix Lord for the Striking Scorpions is called Ara, Arhra, also known as the Father of Scorpions. So
You okay?
yeah, I'm just, you know, we won't go over, like, if we, because I could do a thing on Ara themselves, essentially. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah. Are you thinking about how much detail to go into, I suppose?
Yeah, like there's betrayal and there's, you know, fighting and all this type of thing. It's quite interesting. Essentially, we'll talk about what the Striking Scorpions do in combat and the cool parts about them. So they're kind of a little bit scouts, a little bit infiltrators, kind of assassins sometimes almost. They also have something called, which you can probably see on their armor. Basically, on each side of their chins or cheeks, they have mandiblasters.
Yeah. They're
The
blasters?
man.
Like,
Yes.
at the gun. Oh.
Yeah. So mandiblaster helmets are also called the Scorpion Sting. Are a close-ranged shooty gun.
Surprise!
I couldn't think of a better way to say it. Essentially, they're activated psychically. So you don't even have to. Yeah, you don't even have to blink, and they fire a hail of micro needles.
They're just ridiculous. That all of them, aren't they? The specialized group.
Yeah, you can see why people got pissed that the specialized, you know.
Oh wait, so does some? Oh yeah, that other troops could. Sorry, it's.
Predator would have been a much shorter film if he used a chainsaw. Not untrue. But yeah, essentially the needles themselves don't really do any damage, but they basically conduct. They're like a taser almost. And they are a conductor for a laser beam. So essentially, the needles shoot out, conduct the laser beam. It like obviously the laser hits, and then also vaporizes the needles and overheats, and there's plasma. And essentially, the really cool thing about it is you can use it in you like you've done a little bit of the roleplay tabletop.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to like fire a weapon in melee.
Yeah, with all
you,
the negatives
you basically
you take
can't.
and yeah.
You don't take any negatives or any like it with these things. It's literally just hey, pew.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Because it's just like they're just like little blasters on the side of their mouth, so they just have to look and send a like psychic
to it, yeah.
thought, and it's like pew. So they can do it as essentially inverted commas, let's call it, a bonus action.
Really?
So
So they could do like so many attacks in one go, can't they?
Yes. And that's the awesome thing about it is, you know, they've got a pistol, they've got a chainsword. They don't need to think or do much. They just need to activate it and then swing away and like chop people apart.
Dance away. Silly. Oh god, I'm getting a painful back from doing this.
Also the Exarchs use what is called a biting blade, which is essentially a two-handed giant chainsword. It's like if you took a chainsaw and then made that chainsaw the size of a claymore and then swung it around while revving it.
They're just so badass, aren't they? That's so fun. I get why you like them.
Yeah, the striking scorpions are really cool.
I just accidentally put gold on the gun.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All that glitters in gold.
No, that's a different character.
Oh, that's something else? Oh, okay.
It's a different system.
The Phoenix Lord himself as well has an actual power claw, as in he has a claw that looks like a scorpion claw that is a power weapon.
Oh no. I mean, it'd freak you the hell out, wouldn't it? Like if someone was running up to you with a like giant, well, not even giant, small chainsaw as a like a mace, I suppose. and a hand claw of death. I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just.
Anybody else want to submit? I suppose because I'm submitting. Like,
And I love the art for Karandras. Okay, so essentially, the original Phoenix Lord was Arha, but was replaced later on by Karandras, who's the actual Phoenix Lord. Which we'll go
replaced like
into
in the
at some
law,
point.
or did he get moidered?
Things happened. We can. But yeah, Phoenix Lord Karandras in the art is basically bitching a Black Templar's Space Marine, which I always enjoy because fuck the Black Templars.
Oh, my back's sorry, I just need to fidget for. Especially this like tiny detail things. It's nightmare.
Oh yeah, no.
Nightmare.
It's all good.
God, there's so much gold to do. Maybe I should. I thought that nearly fell over then. Maybe I should do the even smaller brush.
But yeah, they're really cool. Like melee combat specialists. Like the really interesting ones are kind of close combat.
Yeah, if most of them are I don't know, there just seem to be a lot of close combat in the Eldar specialized teams anyway, but
yeah,
I guess that would make sense. Like if you were fighting, you know,
if you're agile and quick and dodgy, like it makes sense.
Get into melee. They've got no bonuses or like they've got negatives for being in melee and trying to shoot you with a blaster or like power weapon or something. Like, haha, but I can shoot you. Surprise.
Yeah. I would say Striking Scorpions are my favorite. Very, very, like, it's so close. But Howling Banshees second. Then, like, very, very close behind them, Warp Spiders. Because Warp Spiders, as much as I hate them, are also super awesome. And special shout out to the Swooping Hawks. The rest of them are also really cool, but, you know, those are, like, my favorites.
Yeah.
Did anything knock the Warp Spiders off your like?
I feel like the Swooping Hawks look cooler.
They do look pretty cool,
and I like that. But no, I think the Spooters, like,
the Warp Spiders are like very, very valid because they are really cool.
I don't know if I would. I often think about if I would like to play them, but it's not like I play 40k that often. In terms of painting, I would prefer to paint the Swooping Hawks because I really like the style. I think they look really cool. And yeah, the Warp Spiders, I think they're interesting. I really like the metal thing. It's super. It's something I've not seen in 40k. Not that I've played very much, but you know.
Yeah.
So they probably went out on that one.
Yeah, they're all pretty close range, honestly. Which is a good thing because obviously there's like tanks and some of the heavier weapon. This is the thing is there's no medium ground for the Eldar. I don't think it's either like super long range weaponry or like you have to like be able to feel their breath when you fire the fucking bullshit. So I think the other thing that we need to touch on before we move anywhere else is the shuriken weapons because they're the basic.
Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of that in this. I mean, obviously I've got the shuriken pistols here. Yeah. So.
Well, they're interesting. Essentially, the projectiles that they fire, and I'm gonna read this verbatim. are razor-sharp monomolecular edged discs of plasty crystal, are usually star-shaped, triangular, or circular. A shuriken disc can slice straight through flesh and bone and can penetrate a considerable thickness of metal or plasteel armor. A single solid core of plasteel crystal material is used as ammunition. As the weapon is fired, high energy impulses from the back of the weapon form the individual shuriken missiles by splitting the ammunition core. So essentially, you have like this chunk of
A shuriken, yeah.
well, you have a chunk of crystal plastic crystal, and the weapon, like as you fire, just slices it and fires. So yeah, shuriken catapults, shuriken pistols just fire ninja stars essentially.
Ninja stars. Are they not called shurikens?
Yes.
Like, that's what I meant then. I was like, wait a minute. Are they not those?
But they're also monomolecular, so it's just like one molecule. So it's like
It is going through you, whether you...
yeah, it's worse than firing chicken wire at people.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
Because you'd have to breathe the chicken wire gas.
that's not how you make chicken wire.
It is.
Okay.
No, I mean, in terms of the warp spiders. Sorry, really detailed here. I think that's what I like about them. It's so like effed up is the gaseous metal. Like breathing that in.
Yeah.
That is like whether or not you get shot a million times, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's
It's just gonna rip up
not
your lungs.
fun. No, not fun at all. The shuriken weapons are pretty useful. Like they can hold pretty high what's it called? Amount of ammunition, but also can fire a lot. Like I think it can fire up to 100 rounds in a few seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
And each magazine essentially can fire like 10 bursts of like
Shuriken.
a couple of seconds.
Okay,
So-
well, they're pretty cool then.
Yeah, the accuracy isn't amazing and the range is pretty low because obviously, you know,
Yeah. I mean, and if they're working in melee most of the time anyway, it doesn't really matter, does it?
yeah. And you essentially have shuriken pistols, shuriken catapults, which is what the Dire Avengers use.
Yeah.
Basically like two-handed rifles, and then shuriken cannons, which like defense platforms and vehicles,
Yeah, to
aircraft,
take out
etc.
like ships and such.
There's a
That's illegal.
sorry, it's fine. There's a few like variations and stuff. Like the Dire Avenger, the Dire Avengers have their own like pattern, which is a bit better because obviously they're specialists.
On this box art, it gives you some examples of what the paint style is and stuff, and it gives me
Yeah.
a Yanari. It says also makes Yanari Howling Banshees. Do you want to see it?
Oh yeah, sure.
I've just been looking at it for a while when we were talking about the different color schemes. I was like, See? So we've got the Executioner, Exarch, with the black and red color scheme instead of the green.
Yeah, the Yanari, to be fair, like you can paint the Howling Banshees in like different colors and stuff.
Yeah, because of
But
the home worlds, or like I was going to
yeah.
ask you that.
Well,
Are they
the Craftworlds?
are they Are there often like lots of different colors for them, or?
Yeah. There's like I think there's five or six like main craft worlds
Yeah.
with like a color scheme. But then it's Games Workshop, so they want you to be able to make your own. So
Yeah.
there's also like minor craft worlds and other things that you can go with. So there's six major craft worlds. A Lightok, which I think is a Lightok the one with the black library. I think it's the one with the black library.
Hello, library.
Oh well, we could talk about that at some point. That would be its own thing, definitely. Bieltan, who I think their color is green, and let me double check this because they're green and white color scheme as I remember. The Dire Avengers look pretty cool. But yeah, they're green and white. Bieltan is the warrior one. Are they the ones who fought who like to fight the orcs, or am I being crazy here? I can't remember. Yes, they do like to fight orcs. So Bieltan are fun. Anyone who likes to fight the orcs. Then we've got Iandan, who's had really bad experiences with the Tyranids, and they also have a tendency to go and fuck with the crone worlds and get more spirit stones. So
The Tyranids are a problem.
They are. Then you got Saimhan.
Oh, that's like Samhain? Do you mean Samhain?
It's SAIM dash HANN.
Well, it's inspired of something then.
I'm gonna mess up some of the names.
Yeah, no worries. Just when you said it, I was like, oh.
The same hand like jet bikes, and I think they're the ones who fuck with the Exodites probably the most. Like they like them. Then of course we have Ulfway, who is they like their psychers. They like their warlocks and their seers and whatnot.
They like
also
them, or they like killing them?
They like them.
Oh, okay.
The Dark Eldar hate psychers. The Eldar are pretty much all like psychorific. Also, famously, Eldrad Ulthran was like one of probably back when I was playing the tabletop miniature game.
Mm-hmm.
Eldrad was probably the most famous named like Eldar. And seeing him on the battlefield was always a pain in the ass. But also Ulfway is one of the like probably the sneakiest, most assholey in terms of like the perspective or point of view of the Imperium, because they kind of fuck with they make shit happen in the Imperium where you're like, okay, that wasn't good. So
well, how much do we like the Imperium of Man anyway?
Right?
Jerks.
Then there's a whole load of like minor ones. Was it Kalor? I can't remember. There's one that got really fucked over by, I think it was Tyranids. But yeah. And then you can kind of make your own. So like for example, a Lightok, I think their colors are blue and green or blue and yellow. No, apologies. It's yellow and black.
I was gonna say like... blue and green. I mean, here's me like, I'm gonna paint a blue and green Necron. I was about to say they don't tend to go
blue and yellow.
Bold.
Blue and yellow, blue and black, blue, black, yellow. They're kind of like bees.
Bees.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a
Oh.
fan of bees right now because I have some in my house. Um, they're aggravating. So
Yeah, much like the Eldar, aggravating. I'm trying to remember. I think they don't have like massive color differences. Biltan obviously was the green and white. They look quite cool. The Ianden are blue and yellow, but like more yellow than blue. Just needs like some more inventive color schemes. Invariably blue, yellow, black, green. You know.
can get well. You don't want to go too wild, right? Because they want to have a relatively consistent like color scheme, I suppose. So
Yeah.
if you see it on a board or whatever, you can like, oh, that's the Eldar, or that's the Dark Eldar, or that's the
Same Han is like predominantly red with some white and some black. I think they're the ones who like to fuck with swooping hawks. Possibly, I may be wrong on that one. Like sometimes you have kind of like specialist-ish. I think one of the funniest things is about all the Craftworlds is you look at their logo, like their kind of like symbol, and you're like, oh, gold and blue, okay. And then you look at their color scheme, and it's like, oh, black and a little bit of white and a little bit of red.
yeah.
Okay,
You'd think that they would be similar.
they're not.
They're not.
But yeah, the Ulfway is like predominantly black with like white faceplates and etc. So and sometimes helmets. But yeah, those are like the major craft worlds, and the color schemes for them. It's
And as you say, they leave it open so that people can make their own
yeah,
and stuff.
like if there's a distinct possibility that you could name any Space Marine faction, and I could tell you their colors. Not so much with the Eldar.
Yeah, especially if they just don't match. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this thing. I think I'm gonna do it gold.
I've got to say,
It was upside down there.
For all of your complaining and shouting, that's looking pretty cool.
It just took me a while to tidy up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to tidy up again, but it's not too bad. It's just a little bit. It's difficult.
Well, and also because you're the one doing it, you kind of like obviously seeing all the bits where you're like, oh, that didn't quite work out how I wanted, or oh, I messed that up a bit.
Yeah,
So
and I am aware that obviously when I've got the magnifying glass on it and it's so close up, I'm gonna spot all these tiny little niggles that annoy me. But like when
yeah,
I just see it generally, I'm not gonna notice. Or it's not gonna be a huge deal. But like I'm using the smallest brush I have right now, which is 5/0 apparently. And
yeah,
it's still not good enough. It's still not quite as minute as I need it to be at times.
yeah,
And then obviously there is a lot of practice with it. Like I've just gone and done all the little nubs. I don't know what they're called. On the gun and stuff, and now I kind of have a bit of an idea of how to do those neatly. But because it's the first time I've ever done them, like they're not neat, so I'm gonna have to tidy them up. I don't know. It's hard, and I'm learning.